Very warm welcome back to the post-match show here on CBS Sports Network and Paramount Plus. It's fantastic to have you with us. Thank you for sticking around. Kate Abdo, Thierry Henry, Jamie Carragher, Micah Richards. The dream team is still here.
Wow.
Yes.
The dream team.
That's what they call us.
I thought that was your friends in America.
That's not what you said at the start.
At the start of what?
Tonight's show.
There's friendly banter, isn't it?
Okay.
That's the kind of team we are. We can enjoy ourselves.
Are we the type of team who'll be invited to your wedding?
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
I was wondering when this would
right.
come up. First,
Really?
do you not want the invite?
Just like that.
Oh, are you getting married, Kate?
Whoa.
Well, Malik wants to marry me. I can tell you that.
So there's
Can
a
you blame
stag?
the man? Come on now.
Oh! I'm more interested in the stag.
The stag.
I would love
Is
to
it called
marry.
a stag?
I
Is
would
it a
love to
bachelor
marry.
party?
It's a bachelor party.
Okay.
Malik's not that kind of guy.
Oh.
What type of guy?
Bachelor party having type of guy.
What, having fun? Is he under the fun?
Not on my watch, Micah.
Hey, what happens on the bachelor party stays in the bachelor party.
I heard I'm
Vegas.
invited.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Just like Vegas.
Yeah, just like Vegas.
Just like that.
Is that where you would get Vegas? Would that be you?
Yes, that would be my venue of choice, Vegas. We'd love to elope to Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So would Charlie and the boys over there be invited?
Well, they're geographically a little closer, so obviously it's an easier trip for them. But Micah's apparently thinking of coming over to Kicking It,
Yes.
appearing on the show, and then we could just get married. We just do it shotgun. We'll just get married
let's
there.
do this.
So is Malik just an in-season guy, a football season guy?
Well, as a boxer, there's no season, Jamie.
No, but
as
it
you
goes
know,
from
it goes
August
all
to May.
season round, and that's the kind of relationship we have.
Okay.
365 days a year. Let's talk about your relationship, Micah.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh! Is it you in one?
He's Somebody hack it on, please.
Because, you know, the interesting thing is, Malik and I have been together about 6 months now, right?
Bayern Munich were
Yeah.
outstanding tonight.
Yeah, no, but I'm just interested.
you've got
If we're
Instagram
already
official.
talking weddings, you must be talking weddings.
Wow!
Weddings.
Wow! How long have you been together?
I invite you to look at the Bayern Munich analysis, please.
Analysis. It just stands French. Analysis.
Very big problem.
Problem?
Do you think you'll ever go Instagram official?
Would you like to get married one day?
No, I don't believe in it.
Oh,
What do you mean? Why?
What do you mean?
I don't believe in the whole
If you
marriage.
didn't know, I don't know who is with him right now. Now you know.
What part of it don't you believe in? What part of it doesn't he believe
I
in?
just don't like the whole. I know.
Being faithful?
Oh, I gotta go now. I mean, whoa. Who played tonight?
HR,
Who played
you
tonight?
need to intervene. First it was Kate with a fat shaming,
Kate.
and now Jamie.
Hey, who played tonight?
Let's talk about the
Let's go.
Production's had enough.
Kane,
That's Jamie.
Let's talk about the Champions League.
Kane.
Kane.
Harry Kane, you remember?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we are starting with Bayern Kane. Let's start with
You
Bayern
see?
Kane.
I followed.
Bayern Munich are through to the quarterfinals. Woo.
Jamie, take us that, will you? I need a minute to cool down.
If you remember, Lazio came into this game 1-0 up from the away leg, or the first leg, I should say, in Italy. But Bayern have done the job, Jamie, as you expected.
Yeah, I thought they would, and I thought that after the first leg as well. It didn't go well for them over there, but as Thierry highlighted before the game, they should have got something from it, even though they weren't at the best. And yes, they're having problems at the moment, but they've still got some of the best individuals in the Champions League right now, and Harry Kane is one of them, and he showed that yet again.
We'd be putting a text into him again.
Well, listen, we exchange views now and again, shall we say. Spoke to him before the game.
Have you got his number in your phone?
Chain. It's all on DM, isn't it?
Oh.
You know,
So you didn't really speak to him?
No, a little DM. I'm sure it's him coming back to you. DM Malik as well. By the way, we found out that.
We're back there, aren't we?
Yeah. That came to me.
Jamie's got a problem.
Yeah. So he said he was right up. He said he was right up.
Can we get to the football, please?
Why are you DMing her future husband?
Key roll range! Please!
What do we want? The first goal, Mike? Is that what you want?
Just roll it. I don't care if it's red, blue,
Did you roll
pink,
anything?
yellow, violet. Just roll the tape.
Why are they not rolling it?
I think they left. Just left.
Brilliant. He was on absolute
that's
fire.
all?
Yeah, because the main man wants to talk to us.
Okay.
Is this true? Is this
okay.
Is this true?
Okay,
He's just getting mic'd up. Ooh, let's
If
psych
you also
ourselves up
talk
for this
about,
one.
well, okay, never mind. Let's go.
If we're,
No. Let's go.
Well, we're gonna have to wait. Now we have to fill time for a
No,
second.
well,
So
let's
should
do
we
something
talk?
else. Dickie, just roll it. Just roll something.
Well, we can fill it about Harry Kane. We've had moments.
And if anybody is wondering why they're talking like that, it's because Harry Kane was already on the line with
Cheers, boys. Appreciate it.
Anytime,
Harry, before we do anything, I think we should clear up because Jamie said earlier on the pre-game that he called you and spoke to you this week. Is that true or false?
That is false.
Edge, don't do this to me. I'm telling everyone in America that we're friends, we've got a great relationship. I can't believe you've just done that to me.
We are friends, but you know, I'm not going to lie on national TV.
Does he have your number, Harry?
We exchange messages on Twitter, you know,
Yeah,
little Twitter friends.
Kate, we're Twitter friends.
Yeah,
Well,
that's-
I didn't
that's
call
not
him today,
friends.
but Harry, what I was saying before the game was I was confident you were going to do the business today. I let slip that we had a little message today. I know that wasn't the full truth or the whole truth, but you did get in touch about 12 months ago, didn't we?
Wow,
We
12
did.
months ago.
Yeah, we did indeed. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it.
Well, Harry, brilliant tonight. Obviously, there's been a lot of, speculation, not being great for the team of late. But from a personal point of view, the numbers you're producing for Bayern Munich, you're having one of the best seasons we've ever seen from a foreign player or an English player going abroad. How happy are you with your actual contribution to the team?
Yeah, of course. I think as a striker, you know, a lot of the time you're judged on goals and assists and what you do in the games, in big games especially. So it was an important game for us today. It's been a difficult season. You know, partly down to what Leverkusen are doing. Still being undefeated has made our season seem a lot worse than maybe it is. But you know, it's an important night tonight. It can really change the momentum of the whole season. So we was 1-0 behind. We've been going through a difficult spell. So to come out here and play the way we did, for me personally, to score a couple of goals was an amazing feeling, and hopefully I can take that, you know, into the games ahead and the team as well.
All right, this is Thierry. First and foremost, congratulations. But I wanted to ask you a tactical question here. I saw the position of Thomas Müller and how he was standing in between the left centre back and the left obviously full back, and you were doing the same thing on the opposite side. How much did that help you to be able to move a bit more freely in the box?
That was big. That was kind of what we worked on. We knew their back four like to kind of stay close. They don't like to be dragged out too much. So we knew if me and Tommy stayed high in those areas, it was hard for the centre backs to come out and press Jamal and press Leroy in those number 10 positions. And then we had the overlapping fullbacks as well. So tactically it was spot on today. And then I just thought the energy was better. The energy was better than what we've had in recent games. So really important, you know, playing with someone like Thomas, especially, really intelligent player, knows how to move in the right spaces at the right time. So it was obviously great to see him get the goal as well. But overall, from front to back, it was a top performance.
I just wanted to say that because people were talking about Tuchel and his tactic, and the tactic was spot on with what you've just done with the positioning of yourself and Thomas Müller. So well done.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, forget that tactical nonsense for a minute. Harry, how's life in München, in Munich?
Life's good. I've got my family here now. I've got the wife and the 4 kids. Still haven't played golf yet, which I'm itching to get out there and play. No. So the weather's picking up a little bit, but no, I'm enjoying it. You know, it's been a tough season, a really, you know, great experience for me so far. I'm really enjoying the time here with the fans and the club and the new environment. So for me, I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. You know, I'm learning every day. I try to improve every day, I'm at one of the biggest clubs in the world, so I'm enjoying it.
Harry, we spoke to you at the start of the season. You've gone from strength to strength since then. So, has your German done the same?
Absolutely not, no. Does anyone... I think Kate talks German, don't she? There?
Ja, kann ich sehr gut eigentlich. Und du? Gar nicht, oder was?
Yeah, no idea. I'm learning, but it's tough. It's really tough, but you know, I'm trying to speak to the boys as much as possible and just kind of listen when I can. But yeah, it's going to take me a while, I think.
Harry, you can score goals in any language. We're very proud of you as Englishmen watching you, what you're doing abroad. You're absolutely fantastic. Keep up the good work.
That is good, yeah.
Amen,
I
amen.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Harry,
Thank you.
one question very quickly before you do go, because obviously we know that you're friends with Jamie, but he doesn't actually really have your number. Does Thierry have your number?
Thierry does.
Oh!
Thierry, I appreciate the kind words yesterday or the day before.
What was that on, Harry? What show was that?
That was Monday Night Football, yeah. I'll give you a little shout out for that.
The award-winning show, Harry.
You deserve it.
How do you get that in Germany, by the way?
Oh, don't worry about me.
I'm not accusing you of anything, but I'm just saying.
Harry's got a dodgy box.
I don't think Sky goes to Germany.
Harry, we appreciate you coming through. Thank you so much for your time. God bless you. Good luck in the quarterfinals. All the best.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks, Harry.
At the beginning, I thought it was Guillaume.
Oh, my gears fell. Can someone help me with my stuff?
I thought it was Guillaume Balaguer at the beginning.
His batteries are falling out. His mic's not in the correct order.
You like that?
I liked it. I thought that was good.
Thank you. I thought we were talking to Guillaume Balaguer at the beginning with that top.
Can someone come in and
Dear.
come on.
Should we pick back up with the... What's going on? So it's all gone off the rails, isn't it?
Player anyway.
Harry's got a dodgy box. I love that.
Shall we talk about... let's pick up the action where we were, because we'd seen the first goal from Harry Kane. Let's take a look at the second goal. Thomas Müller made it 2-0.
Get it into a good area, but he's alive. He really did. Excellent.
We
Yes.
might as well. I mean, that's the type of night tonight.
Jamie.
Oh, what? We're just doing it mid-show. OK. Let's just do
It's
it
the
mid-show.
type of show we are.
Type of show that wouldn't happen on...
Monday Night Football, that's why we win awards.
Smile.
Have we won awards yet for this show?
This season. This is our season.
Only
Oh, is this our season?
You won something the other day. What
won
was
an
it?
award.
That thing. What was that then?
The award we present, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
was that an award?
The personality of the year.
Yeah,
But it wasn't like, you know.
For
I think
hair
Pete
personality.
for Pete,
Who
it's
is
only
Pete?
either
Wait,
an
who is
Emmy
Pete? Can you
or
mention to
a
people who
Cannes
Pete is?
Film Festival
What
award
could
type
we
thing.
win
That's
on this
the
show,
level
actually?
he's at.
What are we up for? Are we in for anything?
An Emmy.
Does anybody care what the producer wants to do on this show tonight? Not at all. No, we're just
We've
going to
been
talk
producing
about...
this show for 12 months.
What could we win? We could win an Emmy.
Could we?
Sports television
Who are
award.
we up against? You know the state's better than us for sports. What would we
Well,
up
I would
against?
say, what were we talking about? So, studio show,
Go on.
Inside the NBA,
Oh,
Who's on
inside
that?
the
That's
NBA,
up
that's the
against.
best.
How can that
College
we're going
Game
against them?
Day.
Why would you say they're the best?
That's
We're
what we're
going
up
against them.
against. That's what we're up against.
They'll use that clip to promote their show.
Well, they are top, aren't they?
NFL
Come
Today,
on.
I
You've got to
guess,
give them
will
credit
probably
when
be on the
it's
list too.
credit.
NFL Today, College Game Day, Inside the NBA.
We're up against the who's on that show?
Inside the NBA?
Yeah.
Shaq. Chuck.
Don't.
Who's Shaq?
Don't.
Shaquille O'Neal.
What did you say before? Dickie!
Shaq will come on for you.
Let's go!
Are we up for it this year? Are we?
Shaq don't
Not
know
after
who
this
we are.
performance.
What? Who else? So Ernie Johnson hosts it. Kenny.
Could we get him to
Kenny
do
the
our
Jet
show?
is
Could
the
we-
equivalent of...
Could we get Ernie to do our show? Would that help us get the Emmy?
I don't even know if they know.
You think
they know
Ernie's
people.
watching this mess and thinks, oh, now there's a show I want to be part
But maybe
of.
if he did it would be a mess.
We had a chance before this segment. Cheers.
Yeah,
I think it's
totally
gone quite
derailed
well.
it. I think it's gone quite well. Harry Kane, let's talk about his second. The big man.
Well, Robert Pires, a player that I played with, as you know, used to sleep there, just used to make it to the second post, six-yard box, and was covering whatever was coming his way and just tap it in. He scored a lot of goals like that. Not only like that, because we were referring to that. So usually, if you stand there during a season, you have 5 to 6 goals easy.
I love it when Micah can't look at anyone.
That's just, what have we become?
We're going to take a break. We're going to compose ourselves. We're going to speak to Peter Schmeichel after the break, and we'll also take a look at this game, the other one of the night between Real Sociedad and PSG. PSG through to the quarterfinals. We will be back, everybody, in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody. Good to have you still with us. Thanks for staying with us. You good, Micah?
I'm fine, yeah.
Titi?
Oui, ça va.
Oh, oui. Okay, c'est cool. I tell you what, let me take you out to Munich because we haven't caught up with Peter Schmeichel yet since the game's finished. He watched the game over there for us in Munich. Obviously, Bayern going through to the quarterfinals tonight, as did PSG. You got to watch the Bayern game live and in person. Peter, your thoughts on Bayern's performance tonight?
Yeah, I'm really, really happy that Bayern got through. I know they're not firing in all cylinders, but Lazio's approach to this game has just been, very, very negative, and I don't want negative teams in the quarterfinal. I mean, I love Bayern Munich. I think it's a great football club. It's always produced a lot of great games, a lot of great experiences for us. And today, yes, it wasn't the best game they've ever played, but it was a very controlled performance. And tactically, Terry was just touching on that with Harry Kane a moment ago. But tactically, it was really, really good. And of course, the big guys, Thomas Müller scored and Harry Kane scored too. And, there was never any question about the result, other than one little moment before the 1-0 goal, and that was it. So, no, I'm quite happy. I'm very, very happy, actually, that Bayern Munich got through to the quarterfinals.
Peter, you did some great analysis on the goalkeeper before the game, and you also spoke to us before you went on air about the goalkeeper. Can you just reiterate what you said?
Yeah, I said I warned you all about... I can't say what I said. No. No, I'm not going to do that. Now, he had an unfortunate game today, but when I had to analyze him for Harry Kane, he's going to put it in the back of the net. And I'm not saying that the goalkeeper was at fault today. I really honestly think that Lazio was very, very negative, and they got what they deserved.
You talked about the atmosphere because when we first spoke to you, you said it was surprisingly quiet at the Allianz Arena, but then it got a lot louder, it seemed like, just before kickoff. What was the atmosphere like throughout?
Well, actually, it was very, very quiet. So this is not the first time I'm here, so it's normally very, very loud. They normally have a party around the football games, but it was very quiet for a long, long, long time into the first half. And then all of a sudden, they started to sing. Once they started to sing, the team really responded well. They started to attack more. They started to be more direct. And of course, while they were singing, and it was really, really noisy, that was when the first goal appeared. So the crowd played a really big part in this victory for Bayern today.
OK, Peter, it was good to see you. We do want to speak to you still more in the show, but I also know we want to let you go and see if you can pick up another interview for us. If we can make a request, Thomas Müller is the name that we would like to request. See what you can do.
I've spoken to him. There's a queue just over there for him, and he said, let me see. I've also really, really want to have Thomas Tuchel here. So let's see what happens I don't know how much time we've got left, but I'm going to try my best.
Yes, sir. Both of those would be brilliant. Thank you very much. Let's switch then onto the highlights from the game between PSG and Real Sociedad being played in Spain. This one, the second leg, PSG came in 2-0 up, remember, and then they put another couple in today. So 4-1, the final score on aggregate in that game. Terry, let's start with the first one. Kylian Mbappe had to be 1-0.
Yes, you know that if something is happening for Paris Saint-Germain more often than not, it's just unbelievable. The way he goes and he makes them... I used to watch, that's the only time I saw that.
I know you love to celebrate Mbappe. Do you want to do the second
Yes,
goal?
of course. Come on, roll it, Nicky, please. Nicky! Was bamboozled.
Yeah, I mean, goalkeeper, but to give goalkeeper the eyes, then you say that's something he practices a lot?
Yes, he's been saying it. He's been working on it for the past 2 years. Usually when he's at the edge of the box, he pushes the ball and he tries to go through the leg of the keeper. But I will explain later on how you do this one. Is technically very difficult to do, especially when you run at full speed, but you need to readjust your body and make sure that your shoulders will then face the goal while you're running on the last touch, readjusting your feet. I know it's not easy to understand, but I will try to show it later on. But I always say that repetition creates habit, and this is why it's comfortable when you arrive in this type of situation, because you worked at it before. As simple as that. Okay. Work is a talent.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. That's why we're so good, baby.
What?
Look at this guy again.
So, that made it 2-0.
Malik's not watching.
I'm not that kind of baby. Whatever.
Look at this guy over there. Look.
Problem?
What's up with you?
No wonder you don't believe in marriage.
Kate, it says link to break. Come on, let's go.
No, it's not a link to break. We're going to do the Marino goal.
Oh, we really?
Yes, we are. La Real pulled one back.
Well, Jamie, you've seen this one, didn't you?
Yeah. And Thierry called it, to be fair. You called the result beforehand. You felt it be 2-1 to PSG, so you were...
Enough for them. I know a goal towards the end, but, you know, Paris were too good.
OK, Kylian Mbappe has actually spoken after the game in English. We're going to listen in. Here you go.
I'll translate this one.
Firstly, congratulations, ready for quarterfinals and 2 goals. What do you say about today's performance?
Oh, we are really happy with the result, with the qualification. We wanted to go to the quarterfinal, and we did a nice game. It was tough because it's never easy to come and to win an away game, but it's what we did, and now we are ready for the next one.
And what do you say about your goals today?
Sorry?
What do you say about your goals today?
Oh, it's what I do. It's what I like to do, what I can do. My job is to help the team and to score goals, to help offensively, defensively, and today I did a nice job.
Thank you.
Yes, he did. And after the break, as Thierry said, he's going to break down that goal with the assistance of Micah, I believe. Is
Of
that
course,
right?
yes.
Yes. All right, that's coming up next in just a minute. Stay with us. OK, welcome back, everybody. As promised, we're going to go up to the big screen. The boys are going to break something down for us, Jamie.
Well, yeah, I mean, Thierry, you were talking about basically really going into detail and analysing Kylian Mbappe's finish tonight, but there's no one who knows that position better than you, and you were there so often in your career.
Kylian used to curve it a lot, and at one point he wanted to change it. He said it. He worked on being able to... Everyone knows I'm going to curve. I can close. But to be able to make the goalkeeper believe that you're going to curve, while you're running, you need to readjust your body while you're pushing the ball at the same time. That's what is not easy, and generate power, by the way, with it. That's a difficult skill. That's, if we go back, that's a... Now, he's ahead of the ball. But, very important, the last touch he did was there. The one after is striking the ball. So, that touch that he makes to be ahead of the ball, he needs to make sure that he touches it well enough for it to come here to finish. Not here, not there, not here. Your shoulder facing the 2 posts, there and there. Now, the goalkeeper, you will see, is going to stop. He is not active, he can't really move. He thinks now that he really is going to go there because he opened his body up to finish and generate power. Now, the next step, as you're going to see here, look at his shoulders. This is why you need to come back into it. When you come back into it, even there is a real angle, the goalkeeper has to believe that you're going to open up because he doesn't leave you a lot of space here. But because you froze him going like that, so if you're the goalkeeper and you freeze the goalkeeper going there, and you slightly don't see it, but your ankles are going that way, it's very difficult now to lift your leg. You will see his leg, because he cannot lift his leg because he went that way because of that body position. And that's why the big man is special.
Well, you see, we run it now, you see the goal.
That one, I always, apart if it was like, it had to be an obvious one for me to close. Like what I mean by closing is this. But what I did practice more often than not is opening up because when I was young, I wasn't confident enough in front of goal. So I was going to make sure that my mind was going to be equipped, that when I arrive in a situation to finish, that I'm not going to think. Apart if you're stupid enough as a keeper, and you give me that, then I will finish. I score like that with Barcelona against Levante. But more often than not, it's not possible for a striker, a goalkeeper, to save that ball. If you curve it well, it's impossible because the ball goes inside at the very last minute when you go around the keeper.
So should we show it, Thierry? Let's reenact that moment, no? So I'll be the goalkeeper.
Sure, I scored one also like that against Peter.
Okay, so I'll be Peter today.
No, but what I'm trying to say, if the ball is rolling and you running still that way, you are yourself killing your own angle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
While you are pushing the ball and running, at one point you need to let it roll and now open up. And if I'm looking here, if you're the keeper...
The keeper thinks you're going here?
Even if he doesn't, look at your ankles.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay. His body weight is going this way.
So you're saying that, and then you're making the goalkeeper move that way. So why did you almost felt like
because it's impossible? Because
you always went that way.
Okay.
I can't remember really too many goals, if any, where you went that way.
I did score some, but I'll explain. You need to believe in what you do and trust it. That was my thing. I knew, okay, I will give you, so stay there. I'll give you the curve of what I was doing. That's the curve. How are you going to get that with your hand?
Yeah.
Bye-bye. How are you going to get this? Now it's coming back in. So I worked a lot to be able to master that. Kylian believes and loves that. That's his thing.
Well, you never worried, though, if you've got a finish that's known as the Thierry Henry finish, and it's still known as that now, surely goalkeepers are going into that game thinking, OK, if Thierry Henry's in this position, I'm almost going to read it. I'm going to almost maybe go a little
So my
bit
position
early.
would be, as a keeper, I'd come across a little bit more.
I go further. I enjoyed it. You know, and you can't do anything about it. Then I'll look at you, and you know I'm going to shoot. I can tell you, you can't save it.
Okay.
When I scored that goal against Leeds, you remember when I came back?
Yeah.
I'll share what the goalkeeper said to me at the end of the game. He said, I knew you were going to do it. I saw you doing it so many times, I still couldn't get it. That's priceless for me.
Wow.
Nice. That was cool,
Okay.
wasn't it? I enjoyed that. Thank you
Back
very
to
much,
you.
gents.
Back to you.
Stuff.
Best
We should do
segment of the
that
show.
more. Okay, we're going to go to a very quick break. We're going to bring you more from our good friend Peter Schmeichel. We're going to take you back out to Munich in the next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back one more time. So our good friend Peter Schmeichel was at the Allianz Arena today for the game between Bayern Munich and Lazio, where Bayern booked their place into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Earlier on, we had requested that he find Thomas Müller and speak to him, and that's exactly what he's done. Let's bring it to you. Oh, my bad. Not Thomas Müller, Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Easy mistake. Easy
That's all right.
mistake. Sorry,
He hasn't got
all
it
right,
already, you know.
everybody.
He hasn't
All
got
right. Okay.
Should've just
I
said
misheard. Two Thomases.
Who's that fella off the NBA we can get?
Of a fella.
Yeah, okay, so I'm with Thomas Tuchel here, and let's do the important stuff first, right? How's your toe?
It hurts. It's painful.
Why? What have you done?
And my last speech before we went out, before the match, I kicked the door and it was the wrong technique. So I think it feels like I broke it.
So you are the first coach in the Champions League history who came off the game with a broken toe.
Maybe.
How happy are you with your team's performance today?
Yes, I'm very happy. It was not super spectacular, but it was very solid and it was very disciplined and the task was difficult. We play against the Italian team. We have to score 2 goals. We cannot concede counterattacks. So we had to find our rhythm. We had to have a good mix between patience and passion and to not fall asleep and to not play too wide and find the gaps. And I think the mix was okay. We scored in the right moments and we felt the relief a bit more than in second half where we had more control.
You left it a bit late, 38th minute.
Yeah.
Did you keep your own patience? Were you sure that you were going to
No, I was not sure, never sure in football on this level.
So this situation that the football club and obviously you're leaving in the summer, how important was tonight for you and the football club?
Very
what would that do
for all of us, of course. Very important. This is the minimum goal in Champions League as the quarterfinal. This is very clear because you have a little bit in your own hands. You can win the group, then you get the better draw. You get a second place team. You get the home game in the second leg, which made a huge difference. And from now we need of course also a bit of luck. You need a draw that suits you maybe a little bit better than some teams than other teams. But from quarterfinal everything is possible. But it was of course very important for us as a team and also for me personally.
Yeah. You got through. Congratulations.
Yes,
See you in the quarterfinals.
See you.
And thank you very much. Cheers.
Ciao.
All right, good stuff. Let's take you out to Peter, who's still there for us at the Allianz Arena. Peter, I guess you said that the atmosphere was great, particularly in the second half, right? That the crowd really carried the team through. We're going to send you next week to another great atmosphere, Dortmund. I'm very envious of that one.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best place in Europe in terms of atmosphere. They've got the highest average attendance in Europe. They've got this called the Yellow Wall. And I was supposed to have played against Dortmund in the semi-final, but unfortunately I got injured and didn't make it through warm-up. So it's one of those places I haven't played. And I would say that there might be about 10 places in the world where you, as a professional football player, you really, really want to play. You know, places like the Bernabeu, Wembley, the Maracanã, a lot of stadiums. But I never played in, and Dortmund is one of them. I never played there. I never played in the Bernabeu. You got to feel sorry for me.
Yes, we do. 1-1 is the score going into that game between Dortmund and PSV. Do you think we'll see Dortmund go through to the quarterfinals the way we saw Bayern go through?
It's a really, really difficult place to get to play as an away team. I mean, obviously it's next week, so a lot can happen. But yes, I think Dortmund will be the favourites to go through from that tie.
Yes, sir. Hey, one question, by the way. Terry was commenting on the fact that Thomas Tuchel is surprisingly tall, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he taller than you?
Well, I was bending down. I wasn't. It was intimidating. I'm not used to that, you know. Normally, I look down at people. When you're looking up at people, it's, you know, it is a little bit. I'm not used to it. So, but by the way, I've got somebody who said hello to the studio. Our old friend Roberto Martinez. He was here. Just had a word with him. I said to him, "Come in front of the camera and wave."
Yeah.
And he's too shy.
Stop it. What's Roberto doing there? Who's he working
Scouting.
for?
He's got a few Portuguese players here, so he's been here to watch them. So he's now coach of Portugal.
Can you still see him?
What happened, Peter?
Can you still see him?
I'm just.
Go and get him.
But he's
just go and take the camera and grab him.
Just one sec, Thomas.
Take the camera. Yeah. Take the cameraman too.
Jamie.
He's our friend, Roberto Martinez.
Like that in the tunnel, you can't.
He's the original crew.
He's defending on a striker.
Oh, he's coming. He's
coming. Is he going to be able to hear us? He won't be able to hear us, will he?
Give him ears.
Hola, hombre.
Give him ears.
Just give him yours.
Please. Yeah.
Hola, hombre.
You want ears? They're desperate to talk
to you.
Oh,
I'm so happy we're going to see Roberto. It's been a long time.
You have no idea how happy he looks, by the way.
Exactly what he wanted to avoid.
We miss him, don't we?
We do. We miss him very much. He was one of the originals.
Yeah.
No,
he was
original.
The original.
Now he lives in one of the most beautiful places in the world, and I'm a little bit jealous.
Lisboa.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Wigan.
Fantastic place. Fantastic place. Great food.
So many familiar voices.
CBS
family.
The original crew, Roberto.
Jamie, I haven't heard your voice for a long time.
Did you miss it, Roberto?
Missed it. I miss you all.
Oh, we miss you very much.
Titi, everybody there. Look at it's a wonderful group of people, huh, Peter?
Who were you watching today? What players were you watching?
Today was Rafael Guerreiro. Rafael is at What did you think, Titi? I can see you there.
No, it's just that, Mister, I was just thinking about the positioning of Thomas Müller in between the centre-back and the left-back, and Harry Kane did the same thing on the other side to make sure that they were not going to move and neutralise that back four. I'm sure you enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think tactically it was very difficult. You know that Sarri and Napoli, they got very loyal into the 4-3-3, but the positions of Kimmich and Rafael Guerreiro out wide, they were so high up, it was impossible for the fullback. As you say, at the back they had one player, or was Thomas Müller, or even Musiala, or Harry Kane. They didn't know if they could jump or they had to delay. The moment that they jump, they open up, it was a 5v4 every time. So the position of the two wide players was exceptional from a tactical point of view. And Rafael Guerreiro is a footballer that is a technician. He can play outside, he can play inside, and it's great for us to see him in that level of form.
European Championships coming up this summer. You have one of the best squads. Do you feel the pressure from the Portuguese?
No. It's, as you know, Peter, I think you go to the European Championship and you need to improve on those 3 games. Thierry, we've been together in big tournaments, and one thing is arriving at the tournament, and we've won 10 games and we couldn't do better, but it's what you do once you get into those 3 games, and you need to grow in the tournament. But we got a great spirit.
The players you've got?
Yeah, we got 4 generations within a dressing room, and obviously we are looking forward to March. March is a good camp for us as well to try different things and prepare even closer for the Euros.
We're looking forward to it for you too. Hey, very quick question, because Jamie and Micah's contract has not yet been renewed. Do you have any interest in making a comeback?
Or mine.
Well,
okay,
you got the best. You got the best pundits in world football, so you should be careful.
Yes!
You don't want to lose any of those.
Well done, Roberto.
We're going to
Always
use
a
that. We're going to
diplomat.
use that line in the negotiations. Thank you, Roberto.
All the best, Roberto. Amazing to see you.
We love
Good
you.
luck in
Great
the
to see
Euros.
you.
We love you.
Bonne année.
Bonne année a tots. Great to see you all.
Cheers, Peter. Thank you very much. Okay, everybody, we are going to go to a very quick break. We'll be right back. We've got much more for you still to come after a short break. Welcome back one final time. So tomorrow, of course, Champions League round of 16 action, second leg action continues. We've got Real Madrid in action. We've got Manchester City in action. Two favourites for the competition, I think you can maybe say. But never mind that. Never mind Wednesday. Can we talk about next week?
Ooh.
Live
Emirates.
and in person at the Emirates. Come through.
Yes. Statue.
The legend returns.
I'm more interested in the statue than the game.
What we're going to do with this statue, we need to do some kind of like a photo opportunity around it, don't we?
Yeah, take
Something.
a picture with it. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
Would Thierry recreate that next to the statue?
Oh.
I think, Micah, you should do it right on the concrete there and slide on it. And scratch those knees.
Are you looking forward to go? I know you go back all the time, but you're looking
Not
forward
all
to...
the time. I didn't go back too much this year because working and scouting at the time, games and stuff like that. But
Do you have to pay for your ticket?
yeah, obviously I pay for my box.
Oh, your box?
Yeah, but I pay for it. Like, so yeah. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got one at Liverpool, Jamie?
No.
No.
I just pay for a season ticket. That cost me about £1,200 for the year.
Oh, doesn't it?
What's your box, Thierry?
I won't call my one. But I don't knew, Jamie. That's what I turned.
Turned around already.
To the goal.
Open your shoulders.
No. The goal is there.
Oh, well, we will see you next week, but we'll also see you tomorrow. We're going to be back for more tomorrow. More Champions League, Real Madrid, Manchester City. Who's going to get through to the quarterfinals? Join us tomorrow to find out. Good night, everybody. See ya.